Hi, I'm Old Sneelock. Welcome to another episode of Old Sneelock's Workshop. Under the spreading silver maple, Old Sneelock's smithy stands. Silver maples are great trees. They grow tall, they have lots of branches, wonderful leaves, they make great shade trees in the summer. They have one problem. When they reach a certain level of maturity, as this one has, they die back at the top. Any branch that's shaded out, doesn't get enough sunlight, dies off. And when that die-off occurs, we end up with branches falling down. Now the blacksmith shop has got half-inch plywood roof. It's pretty sturdy. One of these big guys comes down though, it's going to take out the blacksmith shop, but you know, what can you do? The storage for the 8N, that's a different story. This brown canvas, well, actually nylon tarp, it's pretty resilient. It's not quite up to trampoline strength, but it'll take a lot of banging and booming without too much trouble until sunlight hits it, and then sunlight is the nemesis of any of these tarps. It drives out the plasticizers because it heats up the plastic and makes the volatiles boil away. The volatiles are what gives the plastic its strength, lets it stretch a little bit. Once those are gone, any amount of serious impact causes a problem. And when you're under a silver maple tree, impacts come pretty often. I came out about a month ago and found a branch sticking through here. And another larger one sticking through here. While I was out here inspecting the roof this morning, I see I have another hole just about above the seat of the tractor. Now it still keeps most of the snow off the tractor and it does the basic job of protecting the tractor from the elements. But one leads to two, two leads to three. Next thing you know, the whole thing comes down in a big rush. So the plan for today is to put an additional layer of tarp up there. I bought a silver tarp at our favorite place, Harbor Freight. And I got some ratchet straps and I'm gonna put the tarp over the top of the shed and cover up those holes, and hopefully we're gonna stop any further damage from happening to the brown plastic. I don't know what's gonna happen to the gray stuff. Could be one of those big guys decides to let go and comes down and takes out the whole shebang. Or a westerly wind could take out the blacksmith shop and everything all at once. It's a big tree. But we're gonna fix the things we can fix and hope for the best. In an attempt to prevent further damage and remediate the current damage to the roof of the tractor garage, I'm gonna be putting this silver tarp over the top of the whole thing. It's a 15-foot 2-inch by 19-foot 6-inch heavy-duty reflective tarp. It's from our friends at Harbor Freight Tools, Camarillo, California. They got cheap tarps. We always read the directions before starting. This says, do not use as part of a tent. Does not meet tent flammability standards. Keep away from heat and ignition sources. Well, we're going to violate the rules. Will last through rain, snow, and especially sun. Reflects sunlight and keeps the material cooler for longer life. Rot and mildew resistant, rust resistant aluminum grommets at corners and approximately every 3 feet. I have 4 ratchets, we're going to use the 4 corners. 14 by 14 mesh of 1000 denier nylon threads, whatever denier means. 4 double-stitched hemmed edges. I think we're going to be successful with this, at least for the summer. Or until the big one. Now, at the same time I picked up the tarp, I picked up a 4-pack of 1-inch by 15-foot ratcheting tie downs. Why did I choose these? They were on sale. I had a 20% off discount coupon, which I love. Part of the reason anybody goes to Harbor Freight is because the stuff is cheap. So I picked up these babies and we're going to use them to tie down the 4 corners of the tarp. I need to get my ratchet straps set up because nothing is worse than having the tarp blowing off after you spent all that time putting it up there just because you didn't take a few minutes and hook up your ratchet strap. I like to tuck it through first from that side and then fold it over and go through this side so that when I pull it, and it starts to ratchet, it tightens up. Everybody's got a different way of doing things. This is my way. Now I'm going to hook into the place where I hooked in the original set of straps, and hopefully this is going to work out for the best. I think the bright orange color adds a bit of flair to an otherwise drab gray and brown shed. The neighbors may have other opinions. But if I ever need to walk out here in the middle of the night and find the tractor shed, this will be a glowing beacon in the dark. And on the off chance that some pack of wackos out of Detroit comes down here and drops off a herd of dogs with the intent of driving the deer out of this little woods behind me, and they take to shooting at the deer, this orange reflective strap will identify this as a garage, not a deer. At least that's the plan. In my experience, somebody has gone to the dog pound, picked up half a dozen dogs from various dog pounds, and released them into the neighborhood with no intent of ever picking them back up again. They're not too bright. They're liable to shoot any damn thing walking, crawling, flying, laying on the ground. They don't really care. Now that we have the ratchet strap set up, I'll take these over to the other side. Okay, working alone, this may be a challenge. With the tarp secured in this manner, I'm going to go back and do the back corner. Hopefully I'll be able to get it higher than this. Someone had a kitchen garden here and they had chives planted. Chives are amazingly enduring. They are the first thing to come up in the spring and they're still there in the fall. Now we go back around to the door end and see if I have it centered over the tent. Garage, tractor storage, whatever. That looks to be about even. If you recall from the first video when I put up the tent, garage, tractor storage, whatever, I tried using the little screw anchors that came with it. They didn't work. So I ended up using fence posts. The fence posts have worked remarkably well, but they don't have the nice eyelet that the screw anchor did. So I'm having to improvise a way to attach the hook on the ratchet strap. There we go. You little bastard. Nature has a sense of humor. Well, that has the opening on the door end fairly well secured. Let's go around and see what we can do about the back end. The prevailing winds are out of the west, so the tent is sheltered behind the blacksmith shop. But to keep wind from getting up underneath that, and right now it's a fairly calm day. Hardly any wind at all. And you can see how much is making that tarp sail up. I think I'm going to have to put some cord in there and tie those loose ends together and kind of cinch up. I think I'm going to have to put some cord in there and kind of cinch up this loose end to keep the wind from getting up underneath there and lifting it off. Going to make closing the door a little bit more difficult. I do think it's going to serve to hold down that piece of tarp so the wind doesn't get underneath it. Try to tear it away. Well, I think it's functional. It's obvious that a different color tie down would have been better. Maybe a gray or a black or a brown or pretty much anything with this fluorescent orange. But needs must, and it was cheap, and we all know that we have to work within a budget. And the less I spend on fancy ratchet straps, the more I have to spend on antique tools and repairing them. So the goal of the exercise is to get it so that I can repair antique tools and keep the antique tools that I have in good condition. And I think we succeeded with a temporary fix. Nothing more permanent than a temporary fix. If you have any suggestions for a new video, questions about today's video, or any of the other videos on the channel, or maybe a better solution to my problem here, just drop a note in the comments. You know I read them all. Thanks for watching. Comments are always appreciated. If I've done it right, tell your friends. If I've done it wrong, share the joke. If you'd like to continue, over here's my latest upload. And over here is a video that YouTube has picked out especially for you. If you want to click on this button up here, that'll subscribe you to the channel. And please, don't forget to click the like button.